lecturing Romania on anti-corruption policies. In reality, he was a walking billboard for his son and family to collect money. Hunter Biden and his associates capitalized on a lucrative financial relationship with a Romanian national who was under investigation for and later convicted of corruption in Romania. The Bidens received over $1 million for the deal, and 16 of the 17 payments to their associates' account that funneled the Bidens' money occurred while Joe Biden was vice president. In fact, the money stops flowing from the Romanian national soon after Joe Biden leaves the vice presidency. This is a pattern of influence peddling.
Welcome. Stream number 2 is started. Happy to be here for another one. I'd like to say that we somehow are still up on YouTube, so that's a plus. I could care less if we're there or not, but we're still rolling over there. We're gonna roll with the punches. So what do you guys think about the intro? Influence peddling, huh? You know, I kind of moved on from the notion of this information becoming public, and this is news to me. I'm not sure if you've heard or seen anything else floating around mainstream regarding this, but this is news to me. So this video is about 2 minutes long. We're gonna play it and we'll resume after.
Biden was lecturing Romania on anti-corruption policies. In reality, he was a walking billboard for his son and family to collect money. Hunter Biden and his associates capitalized on a lucrative financial relationship with a Romanian national who was under investigation for and later convicted of corruption in Romania. The Bidens received over $1 million for the deal, and 16 of the 17 payments to their associates' account that funneled the Bidens' money occurred while Joe Biden was vice president. In fact, the money stops flowing from the Romanian national soon after Joe Biden leaves the vice presidency. This is a pattern of influence peddling. This appears separate from any payment Hunter received from his work connecting this individual to a U.S. law firm. We'll also provide further information regarding the Bidens' relationship with China. This includes 2 individuals the committee is particularly concerned about. One of them, Xi Jinping, had close ties to the highest levels of the Chinese Communist Party and operated a multi-billion-dollar energy company with access to large sums of money. We'll discuss how the Bidens received millions of dollars from this individual through the use of shell companies and wire transfers. In March, the committee released its first bank records memorandum that showed a Biden associate, Rob Walker, used his company to funnel money from the Chinese to various Biden family members. Democrats dismissed the evidence, even though it was based on bank records directly from the bank. The Democrats on the Oversight Committee received the same records as the Republicans, and they were able to verify the information. Democrats said all the bank records showed were Papa John's and Starbucks receipts. They deliberately chose to misconstrue and deny what was clearly in front of them. Hunter Biden's representatives claimed the money was, quote, good faith seed funds, but could not explain why those funds had to go through an intermediary in what appears to be an attempt to hide the transfers from the Chinese. They also couldn't explain why the Bidens received over $1 million in 16 different wire transfers over a period of 3 months to at least 5 different banks.
Yeah, that was a lot of information. Honestly, I don't know how the public would react if more people knew about Biden's involvement and the Biden family's profit from their involvement. What do you guys think? What do you think the public would say or do when it comes to elections if this information, or even other information, there's information about Hunter Biden's laptop that is, coming out, but who's to say it's being accepted by the public? It's all about perception. And then this information and others could be out there for the next year or so until the next election, but would that make a difference? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. I don't meddle in politics, and that's solely because there is no party. I think that red and blue, they work together, and no matter who you vote for, we'll never really get what we want. These people change the second they get in office, and that will never change. That will never change. So we got news to cover today. A lot of videos were planned, but we're gonna stick with articles. I have some articles lined up. I did find an interesting video on Telegram, and it's a video of heavy gunfire that's erupted on the far Reynosa International Bridge. So this bridge is on the U.S. and Mexico border, and Mexican media reports shootings occurred between the Mexican army and armed civilians or cartel members, and they're saying 3 people have been killed and cars have been recovered. Several cars, about 3 or 4 cars, have been recovered during this incident today. Now, I did some digging, depending on where you look, you'll find that you'll get one side where it says U.S. military border shooting, heavy gunfire on key bridge with reports of casualties. Heavy gunfire erupted near a key U.S. Mexico border crossing, with local reports suggesting multiple people were killed. The incident broke out near the far Reynosa International Bridge around 3 p.m. local time on Wednesday, May 10th. Mexican media organization ADN 40 reported apparently the confrontation occurred between elements of the army and armed officials. The bridge across the Rio Grande connects the city of Far in Texas, United States, with the city of Reynosa and the Mexican state of Tamaulipas. Footage taken between the two within one. So there's a video that I have here, and it looks like they're in a truck, maybe under a truck. It's kind of hard to tell. I'm not sure if this is referencing it, but it says video taken from within one of the trucks on a bridge shows what appeared to be a Mexican army vehicle zooming past drivers cowering in the crowd in their vehicles. Yeah, like I said, I'm not sure if it's the same, but we're gonna play what I have because it's already kind of injected into the stream. Now, if you go to another article, another website like Valley Central News, they're saying the sounds of gunfire at Far Bridge came from drills plus Mexican cartels. So they're saying that they're running drills in the immediate vicinity, and what we heard was a combination from them obviously using live rounds in conjunction with military cartels working in the area. Now, this article says authorities said that drills using non-live ammunition were conducted near the Far Reynosa International Bridge. According to Hidalgo Police Chief Ramiro Rodriguez, within the U.S. Border Customs Border Protection, they were conducting drills using dummy rounds and inert grenades near the Far Reynosa International Bridge. Valley Central reached out to U.S. Customs and Border Patrol, who confirmed the drills did take place on Wednesday. This afternoon, video began circulating on social media showing trucks backed up on the bridge. In the videos, it sounds like high-powered weapons can be heard. So I'm going to play this video back. If you're not familiar what a round sounds like on the other side of a gun, it sounds just like this. It doesn't sound like a dummy round. These sound like high-powered ammunition. And that's just me. So if there's any experts out there, you guys can let me know if there is a sound difference between non-live ammunition and live rounds, because in my opinion, it sounds like I would say 7.62 on a 3-round burst, but that's just my opinion. So going on furthermore, the article says Rodriguez said that there was a police investigation on the Mexican side of the border where suspects believed to be with the cartel were chased. He said the Mexican authorities shot at them several times, taking down 3 of them and confiscated 3 to 5 vehicles. Now, like I said, we're getting 2 sides of the spectrum here from the video, and I think there's truth to both sides, but I also think that it is possible that we all, the United States also had direct involvement with operations on the bridge. We've seen in the past where we don't directly engage them, or we at least report that we don't, but we do catch them in an opportune moment or an area where we can capture maybe 1 or 3 of them without killing them, but they're able to shoot at us. But in my opinion, because the spectrum is so wide and how it's being reported, it is safe to say that we were also operating or facilitating in a support-like manner, because it is on the border. It is feasible that maybe the FBI or another agency that interlopes in that way was operating on that side, and now they're saying, well, it's training, because it's the only way we can actually say why our guys were out there dressed up in the way they were. That's just, like I said, looking at both sides of the spectrum with these 2 articles. And again, the play of colors, red on blue, the play of colors. But again, I fall in the middle, okay? And that's where I'll stay. So I have more video from Pakistan, and this is all news. I mean, within the past week or so, the videos of what's going on in Pakistan have been ramping up, especially on Telegram. From what I'm seeing, the people have just had enough. Protesters and police clash every day, it seems like, and the videos are just non-stop between the chaos and destruction. This video here it shows a lot of people in an area where it looks like they've gassed or firebombed, or maybe the police or the local forces are pushing them to one area because of maybe riots. So apparently there's a train derailment today in Brimer, Missouri, Caldwell County. There was a train derailment. This is about a minute-long brief news segment about the derailment.
C9 News starts with breaking news.
And that breaking news, investigators are on the scene of a train derailment in Bramer, Missouri, where evacuations are now underway. That's about an hour and 15 minutes northeast of Kansas City.
News Chopper 9 was above the scene late this afternoon, showing a car there on its side. This is in the middle of town. KMBC 9's Peyton Headley is joining us now live with what we know. Peyton?
Yeah, guys, and I just got off the phone with Missouri Highway Patrol. He said one of those tanker cars has hazardous material inside, but it does appear to be contained and not leaking. I want you to see just how far we're being kept from this train. You can see it at the very end of the street here, and just behind those buildings to the left is where those derailed cars are. Now, police have evacuated downtown Braemar and surrounding houses. They also have a hazmat crew on the scene. We're told they know what's inside of the train car, but right now we don't know what is. But a number of law enforcement agencies are in town. This has been a large emergency response, and a lot of people here in Braemar have been coming by to try and get a look at this derailment. But again, we are being kept pretty far away. A few people have told us that they heard it and it was pretty loud, as you might imagine. But again, it is still unclear what happened.
Of course, we know that derailments happen every day. It's just obviously how often they're being reported. Now they feel like they have to tell us more. They're being reported for whatever reason. So I'm not sure if it's to prevent us from traveling by rail, but in my opinion, it's just predictive programming to let us know that the rail system is no longer a safe way to travel. I mean, because if you think about it, not a lot of people rely on this route or this mode of transportation. Okay, this is obviously like a last resort, but in this case, we're seeing majority of like shipments of like raw materials of liquid gases coming through and derailing. But what we're not seeing are the passenger cars derailing. Maybe I think there was one recently within this past year. I believe there was one, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe towards the end of last year there was one. But is this predictive programming to let us know that this is going to be more frequent? Maybe with Brightline being turned up, the rail that's going to run through the major cities of Florida. You know, it's supposed to be turned up this year, and it's already making routes. It's already in service. It's just not, I guess, in service at 100% capacity. So that's my opinion, because like I said, derailments happen every day. It's not like the air traffic controller system that we have with airlines, so we don't have crashes every day. But what we do have are derailments every day, and for whatever reason, the media, mainstream media, is reporting on it more often than they normally would, because they need to distill a piece of information that might not be readily available or needed yet. But when that time comes, we'll already be conditioned to, I guess, the notion that it is bound to happen. Or maybe on the other side, that we shouldn't rely on the rail as a service or mode of transportation for raw materials or to travel, for personal travel. So hey, I like to discover talking points and try to investigate both sides. And if you have other opinions, that's great. Let me know. I mean, that's something that I'd like to talk more about. Maybe I don't understand the situation, or don't know enough, obviously, about the situation to make a better conclusion. So maybe you can let me know. So I have a document here from justice.gov. We all know that Congressman George Santos was charged today, and this is actually from the United States Attorney's Office. This is a document that led to his arraignment, I believe. So we're going to review this. Congressman George Santos charged with fraud, money laundering, theft of public funds, and false statements. Do you believe that? Do you think that he will be the only one to go down like this? I mean, he did act reckless, caused a lot of attention to himself, writing those fake checks for the puppies. But do you think between this congressman and Clarence Thomas that more congressmen and representatives will be held accountable for stuff that they normally wouldn't really be held accountable for. Let me know what you think. I think it depends on where you are on the spectrum. I think if you're on your way out and they want that seat, or you got in and they don't think that you want it to be, if the overall collective doesn't believe that you should be in that space, then obviously you would be the first to go. You would be blackballed by whatever means necessary. In this case, he really did it to himself. But let's read this document here. A 13-count indictment was unsealed today at the United States District Court for the Eastern District of New York, charging George Anthony Evolder Santos, better known as George Santos, a United States congressman representing the 3rd District of New York, with 7 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of money laundering, 1 count of theft of public funds, and 2 counts of making materially false statements to the House of Representatives. So he's just straight up lied. Obviously, during an interview, maybe they interviewed about his conduct, which he just flat out lied to them. The indictment was returned yesterday under seal by a federal grand jury sitting in Central Islip, New York. Santos was arrested this morning and will be arraigned this afternoon. Obviously, the arraignment already happened. We're into Thursday morning now, so that is just new news. Let's just check that out. So he pleaded not guilty to federal indictment and says that he won't resign. So obviously it's like a push to get him out of that space. The freshman congressman, who has told repeated lies about his accomplishments, is accused of duping donors, stealing from his campaign, and lying to Congress. This guy is obviously, he thinks he's above the system because he's a congressman. And again, if you act a certain way and the rest of the circle doesn't approve, obviously they're going to do everything possible to make sure that you are removed in the most swiftest way possible and create as much distance as possible with no attempt that you'd ever be able to return. And I think with this gentleman in particular, he's just a guy that put himself in that situation, and obviously that got him just so far in life. So continuing on, U.S. Representative George Santos, infamous for fabricating his life story, pleaded not guilty Wednesday to charges he duped donors, stole from his campaign, and lied to Congress about being a millionaire, all while cheating to collect unemployment benefits he didn't deserve, which is crazy because you would think that because he's like a public figure or an official that even his employment would have been flagged. But that's another conversation. Afterward, he said he wouldn't drop his re-election bid and defied the calls to resign. Santos was reckoning for a web of fraud and deceit that prosecutors say overlapped with New York Republican fantastical public image as a wealthy businessman, a fictional biography that began to unravel after he won the election last fall. Santos, 34, was released on $500,000 bail following his arraignment, and that was about 5 hours after turning himself in on charges for wire fraud, money laundering, theft of public funds, and making false statements to Congress. He surrendered his passport and could face up to 20 years. And he's probably going to face the majority of 20 years. They don't take this stuff lightly at all, especially wire fraud or stealing from his campaign. That is an immediate sentence, but we'll know in the coming weeks or the coming months how this will unfold. Unfortunately, I just don't care too much about it, so we're just gonna move on. And if you do care, then just follow up on this on your own. So I have an article here that says EU lawyers say plan to scan private messages for child abuse may be unlawful. Under proposed chat controls regulation, any encrypted service provider could be forced to screen for identifiers. So just like we know, Apple has a system that will automatically screen for child porn. And I don't know if it screens for anything else, maybe the language, but we know it screens for child porn. I don't honestly see why that would be a problem, but there's got to be a fine line on what it's scanning, right? We can't just say, yeah, you scan everything, it doesn't matter what you look for, but we can't also say no because I don't know what you're scanning. There's got to be a fine line. We're only going to scan for this word and this variation. We're only going to scan for pictures. We're only going to scan for, certain websites that are covers for these, pornographic content to be distributed. But we know where that goes. That goes down a rabbit hole of endless take, right? But in my opinion, I'd be all for it. Honestly, I'd be all for just a random AI bot just sifting through my phone looking for specifically stuff related to, child porn, I guess. If that's it, then yeah, I think anyone should not have a problem with it, I guess. But it comes to the line of privacy, and that's something that in this day and age, it's hard to tell if people want privacy or not. Social media takes away privacy, and we live in a digital age where there is no privacy. So if we want privacy, we'd have to give up more of the technology that we're using and dependent on. But that's just my opinion. We can't have both. We can't have both. So I didn't know our troops were still in Somalia. I had a buddy that was in a service in the army as a combat medic, and he was over there, but that was about a decade ago. I'm not sure what we'd still be doing over there, and I don't even know what we were over there for to begin with. 10 years ago. But this article is saying that the U.S. intensifies military presence in Somalia as uniparty votes against withdrawal. Again, why are we over there? Why can't we let countries do what they want to do? We're not that big on the map, so it's not like, honestly, we can't take down every country at once. We're just small, but we're mighty. And that's why we get into so much trouble. This article says Joe Biden has ordered nearly 1,000 U.S. troops to Somalia, reversing the withdrawal ordered by President Trump in 2020. Okay, got some soldiers standing there in front of a Chinook, right? Looks like right outside the wire. The U.S. military presence in Somalia is intensifying, and now 900 American troops are deployed to a failed state in the Horn of Africa, publicly tasked with training the Somali armed forces to take on al-Shabaab Islamic militants, but the Americans are increasingly engaging in combat operations as well. I'm not hearing about combat operations in Somalia. I haven't heard about combat operations in Somalia, period. Like, not about this year, not about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I just haven't heard. I know we were over there. I know we are over there. But to say we're over there for this or that, the third, I can't exactly tell you. I can't tell you what campaigns are being run over there, because I just don't know. In my opinion, anything we do outside of in Afghanistan, like theater, it's stuff that, we probably shouldn't be doing, just like Afghanistan or Iraq. But it just depends on how the mainstream media reports on it. The U.S. presence in Somalia is widely seen as a major recruiting tool for the Islamic militants that Americans have been tasked with opposing there. It says America First Florida Representative Matt Gaetz proposed a resolution to the House Representative to once again order the withdrawal of American forces from Somalia. But on April 27th, 321 Uniparty Republicans voted the resolution down. Now, just 101 members of Congress voted in favor of the withdrawal, while a dozen representatives neglected to vote either way. The resolution would have ordered the removal of all United States armed forces other than United States armed forces assigned to protect the United States Embassy, which is mainly Marines. In addition, the troops on the ground supposedly acting in a training and adversary role. The U.S. is conducting airstrikes and drone attacks against this militant and his associates. In several instances, American forces have been ordered by the Biden administration to conduct raids against Islamic radicals on behalf of the Somali armed forces. Now, again, we're always raiding and looting and searching and killing, and why can't someone else do it? Why do we have to be the guy to always go over there? In 1993, Somalia was the site of Black Hawk Down incident that cost the lives of 18 U.S. soldiers after Bill Clinton followed in the footsteps of George H.W. Bush, deployed thousands of troops with the goal of destabilizing the nation's authoritarian government and providing humanitarian aid to the Somali population. Somalian fighters shot down two Ashula. This is just going over the movie Black Hawk Down. So they're glorifying an old movie to give us a reason why we're over there. Maybe that will help with recruiting. I'm not sure. Moving on. Escaped inmate found injured on Virginia college campus. This was back 3 days ago. I'm kind of late on this, so let's just skip. We're just going to skip. But, I mean, let's just figure out how he got there. He was reported being living in the woods and perhaps suffered from dehydration. He escaped from custody and was held on federal drug and weapon charges. He was located about 3 miles away from Longwood University in Farmville, Virginia, which is about 65 miles from Virginia. So, did he let's see. So he escaped from jail on the 1st and was found by school officials on Monday. According to the school, he was injured in poor health and pulled an indoor fire alarm after walking onto campus property. He surrendered to police without incident and requested medical assistance. There's no indication that he has been on campus before. So this guy just, he pussied out and I guess wanted to go back to jail. He got hurt. He couldn't get medical assistance without going to like an infirmary because his social or whatever, his name would have been flagged as maybe incarcerated or something. But obviously he had nowhere else to go. But now that sucks because he's gonna just be sitting in the cell longer for leaving. And maybe he'll learn this lesson. People are not as they were before COVID. People are losing their humanity, it feels like every day. This came out 2 days ago on the 9th. Utah mom who wrote kids' book on grief is charged with husband's alleged murder. Corey Richens, a resident of Kamas, Utah, was taken into custody on Monday and has been charged or has been accused with fatally poisoning her husband, Eric Richens, with fentanyl. She called the authorities after she discovered her husband cold to the touch and unresponsive. She told police that she had earlier made a vodka drink for him to celebrate the sale of their house and then went to put the children to sleep. When she returned, she found her husband dead. They conducted an autopsy and the examiner found 5 times the amount of, or 5 times the lethal dose of fentanyl in Eric's system. Besides the murder charge, Corey's been charged with possession of GHB, narcolepsy medication that's commonly used recreationally. So just 2 months prior to the charges, she appeared on local TV to promote her picture book, Are You With Me?, which was aimed to help children cope with grief after losing a loved one. In an interview with Good Things Utah, she had talked about her husband's sudden demise and how it affected her and her 3 children. So she just went up there and put on a front. Like I said, people are losing their humanity. It seems like every day. And it's unfortunate that this husband, this father, 3, had to have his life taken by obviously someone that was maybe jealous or spiteful. It says here she had said that grieving for children meant keeping the loved one's spirit alive in the home. So who knows? I mean, maybe she did it to save him from this sick, twisted mind. But it's good that he is getting justice. The family is getting true justice, even though it's bringing them more pain to see a mother go to prison for the rest of her life. It's good to see justice for that family. And hopefully, the kids grow up and understand that justice was served. Good or bad, justice was served. So in other news, 2-year-old shoots himself in the head, and they arrested the dad. This came out on the 7th. Apologies just for being late. This stuff should have come out sooner, but it is what it is. So it says undercover detectives and an MNPD helicopter teamed up together Wednesday night to apprehend Jeffrey Thorpe, 24, who's been named in a grand jury indictment charging him of reckless homicide and felony child neglect. The charges stem from a fatal shooting of Thorpe's 2-year-old son on November 1st, 2021. Anthony Thorpe died on the 6th. The investigation, led by Youth Services Detective John Grubbs, shows that Jeffrey Thorpe arrived home on the night of November 1st, placed a pistol on the bed which the child and his mother were sitting, and proceeded to take a shower. The child began handling the gun and shot himself in the head. The parents rushed Anthony to a local hospital in their vehicle, and the mother stayed with the son. Jeffrey fled. It says here that East Precinct's Community Field Intelligence team received information that Thorpe was on the East Nashville area. He was spotted as a passenger in a vehicle, which refused to stop for police. One of the department helicopter monitored the car and watched as Thorpe got out, where he was taken into custody in the area of Jordan Circle after it looks like a brief foot pursuit. It's unfortunate that he had to lose his kid, and what was most likely a tragic accident, but we have to start holding parents and gun owners accountable for incidents that happen, with their weapons. I think if you own a weapon, you have to be held accountable for every round. So it is unfortunate. Again, we're seeing a family broken up where someone was killed, and now another one of their loved ones is being taken away. But that's how justice is served. And there is no justice unless it's uniform justice. So, it is unfortunate, but I'm happy that I am seeing this in the news, and I'm seeing it more in the news where these parents are being charged. So maybe this is a wake-up call to the other parents not to be, or even just other gun owners, not to just be so careless, even if you're in your own home. You never know who could pick up or handle your weapon, even if it's a friend. You never know, but don't take that risk. And again, another article here. Man shot a 14-year-old boy in the back of the head as she was playing hide and seek. So this is news to me. This came out a few days also. Let's see if there's any updates here. It says officials reported that a Louisiana man has been taken into custody on suspicion of shooting a 14-year-old girl while she played hide and seek on his property. That's so sad. As a father, I don't know what I would do if I was ever put in this situation. And as a father and a gun owner, I don't know if I ever found myself in this situation, how I would feel, what I would do. But it says, according to the Calacassu, could be wrong, I don't know. But it says, according to the Parish Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to a shooting at the home in Starks, situated near Louisiana-Texas border early Sunday morning. On the premises of David Von Doyle, 58, authorities found a 14-year-old girl with a gunshot wound in the back of her head. Further investigation showed that several minors identified by the sheriff's office as neighbors were playing hide and seek in the vicinity and hiding on Doyle's property. Von Doyle informed investigators that he saw shadows outside his house, went inside, got his firearm, and then he went back outside, saw people running away from his property, at which he began to shoot at them and unknowingly hit the girl. That is so unfortunate that this idiot would think that this is a good idea. Throw away the key while you're at it. Throw away the key. Moving on. I don't got time for that. More people being killed, and more people, being taken away from their loved ones. He made a dumb decision, but he had a family too. And now his family will have to visit him if they choose to, behind plexiglass. Another one here. Wisconsin deputy Katie Lysing killed by DUI suspect and then shot himself. Deputy Katie Lysing, 29, arrived to the scene at 6:15, where she found a car in a ditch and another vehicle with people who had stopped to assist. The deputy asked the driver of the car in the ditch, 34-year-old Jeremiah Johnson, to perform a field sobriety test, but which he was evasive. After speaking with Johnson for about 8 minutes, he pulled out a handgun and shot her. Lansing returned fire, but none of her shots hit Johnson. Good Samaritans who had stopped to try to save Lansing's life, but she was declared dead at a nearby hospital. That's so unfortunate. Prayers go out to her family and her loved ones. It says officers combed the surrounding woods for the suspect, and about an hour after Lansing was shot, an officer spotted Johnson, heard a gunshot, and saw him fall to the ground. Johnson was found dead with a handgun next to him, but no officers fired their weapon while searching for him. At the time of the incident, Johnson was on supervised release for kidnapping and criminal sexual misconduct. Deputy Lansing leaves behind a husband and a son again. More people being taken away from their loved ones. And that's just so unfortunate. It's so sad. We are losing our humanity day by day. Day by day. So I'm going to end it here. I think that news doesn't get hard to cover, but when it seems like no light at the end of the tunnel, it makes you wonder what all this is for. So we're going to close it out. We are going to cover my buddy's stream, and he covers some content, some lighthearted stuff. I think it'll be a great ender to stream number 2, and I hope to see more of him on stream on YouTube. Hopefully he's going to get an Odyssey account, start streaming over there. But let's leave it at that. Thank you guys for sticking around. I appreciate your time and enjoy.
Let's talk about it. Welcome back to another live stream, y'all. Let's go. It's a beautiful Wednesday. A little rainy, a little gloomy, but for the most part, I'm having a fabulous day. How about you guys, man? Hopefully you're tuning into this live stream or this post video after it comes out, of course. I know not everybody has the luxury of sitting around watching videos on their phone all day, but hey, as long as you watch this video in some shape or form, that's all I really care about, man. You just stay tuned and you find a way to keep in touch with your boy, all right? Now, I got a couple topics today, not gonna lie, some good things going on. I got about 10. So if you can stick around, they're gonna get really funny, and there's some serious ones, all right? I'm gonna scatter this shit around. You're really not gonna know what's coming next, right? You're gonna actually have no idea. You're not going to be able to predict a damn thing. I'm going to tell you that right now, okay? The topics are just all over the place, seriously. So let's jump right into it, man. While we got the vibe, while we got the energy, we got a couple people in the stream. Welcome, welcome. All right, let's go, let's go. For the first topic, for the first subject at hand, I thought this was beautiful. Oh, I'm laughing and we haven't even looked at it. I thought it was beautiful. Here we go. Here we go, guys. So the internet has been divided over the curvy mermaid statue. I don't know about you guys, but statue make me happy, all right? There's nothing about this that's divided other than her ass crack. Now, I do have some questions here. Why does a mermaid have an ass crack, okay? Isn't she supposed to be, like, finned up to the waist? I know there are different designs, but shorty is packing a wagon, all right? And there are no scales. This looks like where all the bums meet at night to, like, circle jerk. Like, forgive me, but what is the purpose of this statue? Her rock titties are out. Look at that. There's 2 streams that I get to say rock titties. How fun is that? And if you don't know which other one that is, go ahead, tap back into, I think it's my second live stream. And I got to say rock titties. But here I get to really say it. It's real. Look at that. Her face, a little manly. Okay, but who cares, right? Throw a bag over that hoe. Yo, I've been waiting to talk about this shit since I seen it. I get it. You know, they're divided about it, right? It's over explicit. It's definitely sexual in her pose. I can't front, all right? I don't know what is the representation behind it. Is this in Sicily? Is this in Italy? Right? Like, I don't have anything against it other than it is a little provocative, okay? And it doesn't necessarily look like a standard Ariel, you know, a standard mermaid. She looked like she got a G-string on. I mean, what mermaid you know wears a G-string? Not many. This got 5 million views That's a lot of views. Like, I don't even think the Little Mermaid's gonna get that many views. 5 mil? Wow. I F's with it. I F's with it. I F's with it. I think it's very hilarious. What do you guys think? Is this appropriate? Are you gonna take your family to go visit this on your like vacation on the coast? Is this one of your stop destinations? Right? You're gonna take some beautiful photos in her thighs. And I don't really know the size of her. Okay, I guess if we zoom in here, I guess if we zoom in a little bit, as much as I can. It's not too much, but all right. It looks human sized, and oh my goodness, look at Buddy. Why? Oh my God, look, Buddy got one hand on her ass, and the other guy's molding her breast, and it's that's a girl, that's a female. Okay, all right. If a male and a female came together to make this happen, what problem could I really have? I mean, it is a work of art. He's definitely adding some curvature onto the yeeks. But, I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat, all right? Or whatever swims by it. In this case, it would be this version of a mermaid swimming by. And it says the internet is divided over the curvy mermaid. Ain't nobody divided. We like it. Okay, we like it. We like it. All right. So I got another topic right here, right now. All right, we're going to go ahead and swap this thing. I told you, you're not even going to be able to know what's next, right? We started off with the curvy mermaid. Like, you don't even know. So this one's pretty cool. Mark Zuckerberg just won his first Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament, all right? Now, cool. My thoughts on this is, how much did he pay to win the tournament, right? Mark Zuckerberg, like Mr. Meta himself over here, putting niggas in a figure four. I think that's awesome. Looks like this ref probably got a check, you know? Nobody really wants to beat the guy that can have your social media platforms shut down. So I would face-to-face him in a match and probably let it slide too. You know what, big dog? You could go ahead and win with the green belt. I don't know what standard that is, green to yellow or green and yellow, right? It doesn't say. But for the most part, this guy looks pretty fit. I saw another photo of him. I didn't feel like getting another photo of Big MZ, but I mean, he looks pretty fit, and I heard for a little while he's been doing jiu-jitsu. He's been getting into his health a lot more, listening to the Joe Rogan podcast. Go ahead and, jump on Spotify. Y'all go ahead and go and check out Joe Rogan's podcast. What is it called? The Joe Rogan Experience. Go check that out, man. But, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg is definitely out here whooping ass for friend requests, okay? If you did not answer what he needed to be answered in a certain time, if you got some sort of copyright strike, I think he's coming over to whoop ass now. That's what he's doing. All right, that's his main focus. But I mean, all for it, man. You can't be rich and lazy. You can't be rich trying to just hang out at home and eat mushrooms all day. You just can't do that. You can, but you're gonna be looking like Seth Rogen and shit. You don't want to look like, wow, and they kind of look like each other, like I guess you could say Seth Rogen is a fat, lazier version of Mark Zuckerberg. But that's good for Mark Z, man. Go ahead and whoop ass, take names, and block people from requesting you on Facebook, brother. Keep doing your thing. I thought that was absolutely amazing, man. Shout out to Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, we got some thunder going on outside. I'm pretty sure y'all can't hear that shit. But we got some thunder. All right, look at this. Oh, man. So I really want to play a game with y'all. Whose kids do you think these are, okay? Let's just start left to right. Boom. We got little white girl, blue eyes. Off the rip, I can't guess whose kid she is, right? Like, there's a guy in the middle. Don't know. And there's even a third guy. I don't know whose kids these are. Like, just off the bat, I'm like playing with you guys, right? Like, I know whose kids they are, but I don't even see much of a resemblance of the three. It could be this could be Pete Davidson's son. I don't know whose kids these are, right? Guys, these look like white people's kids, right? It could be Brad Pitt's children. I don't know, right? Like Nicole Pfeiffer, or I don't know. It could be anybody's kids. But, guys, no bullshit. These are Michael Jackson's kids. Like, yeah, Michael Jackson beat it. You know what I'm saying? Scratching my head on this one. I can't wrap my mind around this. I know there was speculation that those kids weren't his back in the day. The jokes were, you know, you can't have white babies and genetics are genetics. And the joke I remember being, when they grow up, we will see. And let's keep it 1,000. These people look like they come straight from the Caucasian mountains, okay? There is nothing ethnic about them other than the food they eat. Look at this kid in the middle. I think that's Blanket. Remember Blanket? MJ hung him over a balcony and his little feet were dangling and shit like that. Yo, that's got to be Blanket. It was the youngest son. Damn, shout out to Blanket. I don't know any of the other kids' names. I used to have a friend, though, back in the day who Michael Jackson's daughter followed him. He was pretty prevalent on Instagram. That was like the highlight of this nigga's life. People that followed him. Whatever. But yeah, isn't that wild? Like, nothing about these kids look like Michael Jackson or any of the Jackson 5, like none of the brothers. And, you know, Michael Jackson's genes are extremely strong, okay? Like, Janet looks just like Mike. You know, these kids were either genetically manipulated, right, in a gene pool, and they, like, spliced them together or some shit, or they're adopted. I mean, what game are we playing? Like, Michael Jackson could bleach his skin 1,000,000 times. But he can't bleach his genes, okay? I mean, that's like no pun intended. You could bleach your genes, all right? But you cannot make your kids white if you were born black. It just makes no sense, you know? I guess the girl kind of looks like Michael Jackson. Maybe she's had a nose job. That's why she looks like Michael Jackson. Let's be real. Look at her nose. It's hella thin. It looks one-dimensional. She could. I mean, she look good. She could be Michael Jackson's daughter. Who knows, man? I don't know. But what do y'all think? Do you think Michael Jackson made these babies or nah? Let's be real. I want to see something in the chat for this shit because Michael J. Maybe Michael Jordan's kids. This could be. I would see one of these kids being Michael Jordan's kids before Michael Jackson's kids. Come on. Buddy in the middle look Native American. Stop playing with me. I see through their eyes. Yeah, they all looking at me, but I can tell none of them. I want to see some ancestry, okay? That's what I want to see. I want to see some ancestry. Speaking of kids, though, I thought this next story was absolutely wild. Robert De Niro, 79. Let's just say 80, okay? Robert De Niro, 85 years old, reveals he's welcoming his 7th baby. Guys, gals, do you understand what that means? Okay, I believe when a woman reaches her 30s, that's called a geriatric pregnancy. 30s, right? That's not like something far, okay? So he has to be finding some. I should have looked that up. That would have been even better to look up the baby mama. I just thought the topic itself was just off the chain right here. Like, yo, my man is 87 years old, and he's got 7 kids. Fuck the 7 kids. Have 10 if you want. But to be 80, bro, like, can you imagine being born, and then by the time you grow up and you could remember shit, you don't remember your dad because he's dead? Because he died? Because he's old? He's probably got grandkids. You understand how weird that makes the family dynamic, right? You're 79, and you got grandkids that are grown, probably in college and shit. And here you go, having a whole damn baby. Oh, God, that thunder. I think that was on the stream. I thought I saw a flash. I was like, wait a minute. And then the crackle happened. It's because God don't like ugly. And I'm talking hella shit about these people right now. Lord forgive me, but I gotta goes in. All right, so yeah, 7 babies. You're 79. Damn, more power to you, bro. Unless you're over here drinking vials of children blood to stay young, which in your photo you don't look very young. You look craggly. Yeah, you look fucking viejo, bro. And you're over here popping out babies. Are you gonna even? Can your heart make it through the fucking birth, my boy? Can your heart make it through the pitter patters of the birthing cycle? I don't know, bro. Like, what's up with all these damn celebrities having all these kids? Shit is wild. Yo, I saw like NBA YoungBoy got another baby. Like, damn, y'all wild. Because my thing is, cool, you're gonna make a kid. Great. Everyone can make a kid. Go for it. Have a great time. But are you gonna be an active father? Right? You're 79. You're not gonna be able to raise your kids. Nick Cannon isn't gonna be able to raise all his kids. They're not gonna all have those beautiful memories with their father every day because he's got to work so hard to pay for all these kids. Like, is that right? What do you guys think? Is that right to be having so many kids or kids when you're old and that's it? You can't really be a part of their life? I think it's messed up. I think it's a little selfish. Unless, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I'm trying not to judge. I just really want to be funny. But the more I think about it, I just really feel it's not right. You know, after a certain point in your life, you shouldn't be bringing life into this world if you're not going to be there to guide that life through the world. You need your father. You need your mother. We all see what happens to people, to young kids in this world. They grew up without a father, right? My son, in this case, grows up without a mother in this world, you know, and it sucks. You know, you have a kid and you don't plan on raising it. It's shitty. And I'm not trying to say nothing about Robert De Niro or Nick Cannon. This is just more general, right? Like, when you have kids, just be thoughtful. Have a plan. You know, maybe Robert D got a son that, I don't know, was willing to help him after he dies. I'm sure. Who knows? Robert De Niro, wrap it up. How is your sperm working? Did you donate that? And you got it out the bank? Like, woo, that thunder's crack-a-lacking. If I lose y'all on the stream, I'm sorry, okay? We might pick up on another one. We have 15 minutes, man. Maybe we could push it, but this rain do sound pretty tough. And the trees in my backyard shake like strippers in church. I swear to God. They tear that damn fiber line up like it's a pole, dancing all around it. Ooh, and you cut that shit out, all right? I even paid to get the trees cut. Shit. We'll see, actually, because I paid to get the trees cut. All right. Moving on from Robert D., my boy Roberto, all right? We all over the map with it. Look at this. I saw this. This is from IGN.com. Yeah, I just did the Trump hands while I read it. Okay, so Doctor Strange 2 writers weren't able to watch WandaVision before finishing the sequel. I want you guys to think about that, right? Doctor Strange 2. Multiverse of Madness. I don't know why, but I watch this movie a lot on Disney Plus when I get the chance. I don't really know why. I like, to be real with you, I think it has to do with the introduction of the multiverse, and I like Doctor Strange as a character. I think he has a lot of character development in his storyline throughout the MCU that just made him a great character. This movie wasn't a good look for him. Let's be real, wasn't a really good look for him. But for the most part, knowing that they did not read or watch WandaVision, or they didn't watch... How can you make a movie with the villain and you don't watch their story? You don't know where they came from. And then it says they weren't able to watch. It wasn't that... See, you gotta... When you read shit, you really gotta read shit, right? They weren't able to. So they were advised by Disney, you know, the rat over there, to write something brand new, to do something off the top of their head somehow, I guess, just to make the movie. That's what they want to do, just to make the movie. And we see this. We see this happening in it, and it's crazy. You know, I'm just noticing my voice is like lagged off the when I talk, I kind of feel like my microphone. See, that look a little better. Shit, do it. I'll work on that. So yeah, I think that's incredible. How can you write something? How can you make a sequel to something you didn't see the first one to? The fuck? What kind of sense that make? That's why Marvel's going down the drain. They are just so focused on working with certain directors and letting these directors have full reign. Yeah, come on through, What's that guy's name? Who cares? Like James Gunn, too. In the last movie review I told you about, he had full reign. Put these guys in check, okay? We can't have these directors making whatever the hell they want to all the time. It makes no sense. Don't make a sequel to something I'm looking forward to and you don't even know how it started. Come on, bruh. That shit blew my mind. It makes me, I have a little sour spot right now for Marvel because what they're doing is BS. What they're doing is BS. They're just cranking shit out because they can. And I get it. You have a plethora of characters and mutants and villains and heroes that you can write about and make movies about, but make it make sense. I don't need this bullshit, bro. Oh, we did the movie sucked because we actually didn't watch the first one. Shut your stupid ass up. That's the stupidest shit I ever heard. We actually weren't allowed to watch it. Shut up. Go sit in a corner. All right. New topic. I like this one. For some reason, over the past weekend, we had some shootings going on in Texas. God, put the guns down. Pick the pens up. Write your feelings down on a notepad. Write a poem. God. I just don't get it, man. Growing up, I don't remember guns being a thing like that, especially school shootings. I was in maybe the third, second grade, and a girl committed suicide. And it blew my mind at that age knowing that you could do that. Moment of silence and just, much respect to all the families out there and people affected by school shooters or just shooters, period. Bullets don't have no names. You could be walking down the street. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. And I really, really like this topic for a couple reasons. But I had some things to say about it as well. So number one, smart gun introduced with fingerprint facial recognition technology. I already know that guns have fingerprint. Like scanners, right? So sometimes you get an advanced enough gun, you got enough bread, you could put a sensor on your gun so it'll read you. Now, I've never seen one in real life. I'm going to be honest with you. This is some John Wick shit, okay? And I thought it was cool. I thought it was ingenuitive, and I love good ideas, right? There's all this talk about gun safety, take the guns, more guns in good people's hands. In Florida, they just passed a bill stating anyone could not open carry, that's crazy, conceal carry, bro. I went through ups and downs to be able to conceal carry, and you're telling me people could just carry? I had to go through a process. They had to make sure I wasn't a savage. Check my record. And any Joe Schmo could just go get a pistol now. Shit crazy, man. And they think that's going to solve it. Maybe it will. I don't know. Who am I? But a smart gun is a cool way to combat all the other shit, right? Look, more guns, teachers get guns, whatever. Look, I made a smart gun, okay? If your phone can scan your face and give you access, so should a deadly weapon, okay? I got some info on this I want to read you guys. Let me pull this forward. Wow, I cannot see. That is hella tiny. Can I make it bigger? Oh my god. Alrighty. The new weapon was launched Thursday and is the world's first of its kind. The company said they believe technology can assist in reducing accidents, criminal misuse, suicides, and other tragic outcomes. Yada, yada, yada. This comes at a time where the U.S. grapples with the recent mass shootings that have left dozens dead throughout the country. Yo, this just proves my point, and I did not read this all the way. Like, I read the top, and I was like, all right, I like that. But I love how it just kind of comes back to what I was saying. 2023 has seen more than 100 mass shootings as of March. As of March? Ooh, that made me feel away. California alone saw at least 6 mass shootings in January that left a total of 26 dead, renewing a push for tighter gun restrictions. Look, y'all, I don't give a fuck if it's one death. Yo, can y'all hear my house rumbling? shit sound intense. So yeah, man. One death is too many. Mass shootings, they're happening in schools and around grocery stores, churches. I'm not going to go too crazy on this topic in terms of gun control, safety. I'm not a politician, and to be real with you, I could care less about that. They all do that shit for money. I care about my kids in school, right? I care about my lady going to work, going to the gas station, being safe, right? It's sad that we live in a world where we got to put a fucking scanner on our guns to stop suicides. I like that, though. If you got a suicidal kid, or if you got kids and you got a weapon that's locked up, it's got a scanner on it, yeah, I understand that. But what happens if that weapon malfunctions? What happens if you need to save your life? You're in a situation, you got to pull that weapon out, and sorry, can't recognize your face. Boom. Your life is taken, right? Like, it just adds another trouble point, right? Another troubleshooting point in terms of where something could go wrong. I don't know, man. It's a slippery slope with the guns. It's slippery, and there's no way to really grasp it. Pause. Big pause. Big pause. It's terrible, man. I just hope, I mean, even if they do make these type of guns, are they going to mandate? They can't mandate everybody. It's too late, man. There's too many guns out here. There's too many damn guns. There's too many guns. I'm sorry. I don't want to go too in. I didn't mean to gloom the mood. I didn't mean to gloom the mood. Like I told you, this shit's going to range everywhere. And these are things I see on my timeline. I'm sure you see this shit too. Let's be real. I'm sure you see this shit too, and it probably bothers you. I hope it does. I hope this reaches people that, these mass shootings and shit bothers you. And it interests you to see that people are putting technology other than your phone and stupid apps and TikToks. They're putting their smarts into something that could save lives. I respect that. I hope that this could go far, that they could push this. Maybe every gun they sell to a minor or someone under 25, this is the gun you get. How about that? You're not going to go buy some AR-15, nigga. You don't need an AR-15. You're 18 years old. What kind of pig are you shooting? None. You're getting ready to go to the rally. Don't get me started. Let's get off that. I got this topic. I thought it was hilarious. Shout out to No Jumper. Man. I got this from them. Florida substitute teacher arrested after letting a 7th grader hit her vape. As I hit mine, I was trying to fit in. Are you kidding me? This bitch looked like she's 63. Trying to fit in with a 13-year-old? And this is the word that throws it all off for me. Substitute. That's your problem. You're allowing people to teach kids and come into your school who haven't gone through the proper fundamentals of what it takes to be in a school, to teach children. Children want to manipulate you. That's what they want to do. That's what they do. And you let them hit the vape because it's cool? Lock her up. And that, I'm going to be nice. Lock her up. That could be my kid. She could be giving my kid a vape in school. I'm flipping my top. On G-O-D. I ain't playing around. A vape? Them shits are deadly. Them shits is... Vapes are deadly, yo. Giving it to a kid at that? Gosh, this got to be a California lady. Like, it's unbelievable. I would absolutely flip my damn lid if the principal called me talking about, hey, Anthony was vaping in school. What? Well, actually, Mrs. Zickafu. She looked like a damn Zickafu. Miss Zickafu substitute teacher, she actually allowed your son to vape in class. He blew an O-ring the size of a basketball. I'm going to be, first of all, like, damn, that's some skill. He must be vaping other places. This isn't his first vape, you feel me? But to know that this is the type of shit going on in school, like, that's why you got to listen to your kids, right? Sometimes your kids might tell you some shit about a teacher, about a substitute, and you're just like, yeah, whatever. I do it. I've done it, right? Yeah, all right. Yeah. Come sit down and do your homework. Okay, yeah, right? But you got to listen to your kids. Imagine if your kid was like, hey, Mom, I had a principal substitute today who, she let me hit the vape. Some parents might not give a shit. Hey, this is real. That's the real point, too. Some parents may not give a shit if their kids are vaping. But guess what? I do. And I know a lot of you out there give a shit. And they don't want you don't want your kids vaping with their friends, right? You think you feel safe with them at school being watched by adults, and this is what's going on. Condemn her. Condemn. Put her away. I don't want to hear no probation either. She didn't serve like 30 days. That's a 30-day offense lockup right there, if you ask me, in my book when I made it. When I wrote the book, that's what the punishment is. Straight like that. All right. Now, let's move on. Shall we? Shall we? This one was cool. I wonder how real this is, right? Rap House TV. It's got to be real. They got a blue check. They're not going to put out any misinformation. Billionaire investor Peter Thiel, age 55, paid to have his body frozen in hopes that in the future someone can bring him back to life. What? What movie is this? Like, damn, we could do that? I mean, obviously, no, we can't. That's why he said in hopes to in the future. But what a crazy thing. It reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I was going to say 2. You saw the finger. I know. Guardians of the Galaxy 1. The collector was offering Groot money for his body. He was like, in case of your untimely death. That's what that reminded me of. He sold his frozen chops over to hopefully be brought back. How cool would that be, right? You get frozen, you get put into a cryogenic chamber of some sort. Put your ass to sleep. Because, look, he says, investor pay have his body frozen, bring him back to life. All right. See, we got to read this shit for real, okay? Look, it's saying that he paid he paid to have his body frozen in hopes to be brought back to life. It didn't say he's going to be frozen when he dies. They're going to probably freeze him on his deathbed or before. Wow, how crazy. He's going to willingly go be put to sleep and frozen in a cryogenic chamber. That is odd. What? Think about it. Austin Powers did it. Yeah, baby. Yeah. What? He did it. He was frozen, brought back to life, took the piss of his life, right? It's a funny movie. It's a really funny movie, actually. Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me. I want to watch that. Put that on the watch list for this weekend. But yeah, how crazy, man. To bring him back to life. What does he think he is? Evanescence? Anybody get the joke? Maybe not. I don't know. But damn, if you could bring me back to life, shit, go ahead. I wouldn't be mad at you. I would not mind coming back. Damn, but think about it. You come back, you're old. Unless they're going to rejuvenate your body, I don't know, man. See, it's too much of a gamble with this shit, right? He's a billionaire, so he's got to know some sort of cryo company that he's seen, some sort of work in, and he's seen the fucking, all the shit for, you know what I mean? He's seen everything for. He's seen all the, what happens here? What happens there? Like, you've done this on a monkey? Cool. I'm down. Oh, you did this to a possum? Yeah. Me too. Crazy. That's a crazy one. All right. I got an even crazier story coming up right here. And this is the last story. We are going to wrap it up here. But I left this story last because I got a funny-ass story to tell you about this. Check this out, man. A Texas high school student sent 6 of his peers to the hospital this week after deploying an intense fart spray as a prank. Whoa. To the hospital? This is why you got to eat your Wheaties, kids. Damn, the fart spray sent you to the hospital? Man, maybe throw up, gag once or twice, pause. But damn, nigga, hospitalized? Fart spray stinks. No bullshit. Fart spray. Yo, fart spray is terrible. Literally, fart spray is the worst shit you could ever smell. It smells like, number one, the first layer that pierces your nostril hairs is like rotten egg. That's the base of it. Just slap. But then it gets rotten. It gets sour. And that fucking smell just permeates in the hallways of the schools. It don't go nowhere. It just stays. It's heavy. It's a heavy spray. Thirsty as hell. That shit is crazy as hell to me. Sent them to the hospital. Could you imagine? Mom, I'm in the hospital. What happened? You don't know. Yo, shit's wild. Shit's wild. Now, the reason why I thought it was so funny, right? And the reason why I wanted to save it for last is I have a fart spray high school story to share with you all right? So, I was in 9th grade. I'm in the freshman hall, all right? And I'm in a writing literature class. I'm sitting next to this dude named Keon. Yo, what's up? No, Cassine. Yo, Cassine Taylor was good, my boy. And we're in class and shit, and we're in the back, you know what I'm saying? Not paying too much attention. It's reading, it's literature. Nobody gives a shit. And my boy was like, hey, yo, I remember he had this black jacket on. It wasn't leather, but it was like hella Matrixy, right? It was like a trench coat. And he was from Miami and shit, so he was different. He had a different attitude than everybody from around my way in Georgia, right? So he was a little different. And we talking, we chopping it up, kikiing in class, bullshitting. He's like, hey, man, I got a fart bomb. What's it called? Wasn't a fart spray. It was a fart bomb. That's what he said, like a fart bomb or some shit. And I'm like, no. I was like, well, what? He's like, yeah, you break this shit, and it will stink so bad. And I was like, for real? He's like, yeah. I was like, let me see it. And he hands me this shit. It was like this size, like the size smaller than this. And no bullshit, he gave it to me in my hand. The teacher was writing on the board, and I didn't believe him. I just slung that shit at the wall. Wah! And you just heard glass break. Everybody was like, right? Teacher was like, what was that? And everybody was like, whoa. I'm over here like, oh my God, what could it have been? And like, dude, seconds later, the fucking class erupted in this odor. Like, I could almost see the odor. I could see the stench. Yo, people were gagging, throwing up. My boy Cassine didn't believe that I threw that shit. He was blown away. He was like not pissed because he was laughing, but he was pissed because I threw his fucking smoke bomb, his smell bomb, whatever. I don't know the name of it. If y'all can think of the name of what that's called, it's not a fart bomb. It was a, fuck, I can't think of it. But it was so tiny, like a glass vial. So anywho, everybody's storming out of the class. I'm storming out of the class, right? I was the first up and out. I'm like, I can't take this smell. You gotta put the show, you know? So I ran out, and the teacher's like, oh my God, what the heck? And eventually the principal comes with police, the police dog, and we're all lined up. And he's like, he got a piece of the glass in his hand. He's like, we're going to get this fingerprinted and we're going to find out who did this. And in my mind, I was like, nigga, this ain't CSI. Like, you can't even hold down detention, let alone get the fucking glass put together and fucking fingerprinted, right? So I knew it was bullshit. I knew it was a tactic. And so he searched me, and then he searched Cassine. Boom. Nobody got nothing. You know what I'm saying? So they take the dog in the classroom. The dog alerts to our seats where we sit, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, damn, I might be caught. I might be fucked right here. I might have just got caught with the fart spray. It wasn't fart spray. So they come out, they pull me and Cassine to the corner, and they're like, who sits over here in the back? And then the dog starts sniffing us. The dog did not alert to me. It alerted to Cassine. And my boy must have been smoking weed in the morning, or it was on his jacket. I think that he threw weed in the back of the class or some shit. But he had drugs on him with a smoke bomb, fart bomb. And I'm like, bro, you are really pushing the line here. Why did you even bring that shit if you weren't ready to use the fart spray? You know what I'm saying? Like, of course I'm going to throw the fucking fart bomb. Of course I'm going to throw that shit, nigga. I'm me. Okay? I didn't believe him. I'm like, there's no way that shit gonna stink like that. There's no way this shit gonna smell like this shit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's up, Preferred? Contingency in the building. But it smelled so bad, they arrested Cassine Taylor. I never seen him again. Did they throw him in the chokey? I don't know. Did they leave him in the damn chokey? I don't know. But I never seen Cassine again. Never to be heard of. Cassine, if you out there, my brother, reach out. Tell these folks I ain't lying. Yo, people that know me for real know I ain't telling no stories, okay? Ain't no need. There's no need to lie and fabricate. I don't need to do any of this shit. This shit is all true, all facts, all the time. Shit was wild. Yeah, bro. I couldn't even believe that there was that much stench in the little vial. I could not believe it. It was extremely, extremely stank, man. It smelled like, and it stays singed in your nose, bro. Bro, Miss Trenchbull got him. Oh, Miss Trenchbull. Yo, I just watched Matilda 2 the other day. That movie was freaking awesome, man. I thought when I was watching it, like, this couldn't be made now. Like, I know they made a Matilda show or a movie or some bullshit, but it's nothing like the first Matilda. There was so much child neglect in that movie, child endangerment, and I know that was more or less the point of Matilda, but yo, they brought her home first day and they didn't even have her in a car seat. They did, but she was in the back of the trunk sliding everywhere. That shit was crazy, bro. Bro, you got caught for it? I didn't get caught for it, bro. I got caught for a couple things in high school, but I really ain't never even have ISS for real. ISS sucks so bad. It's like boring, and I love interaction. I love to be with people, especially in high school. You know, you get to be with your friends. You get to steal people's milks or their whatever and shit, like whatever, you know, like I never liked being an ISS, so I always tried to be cool with my teachers and just get by, have fun in the hallways, have fun in gym, have fun at lunch, outside, changing classes, hope my son's listening. But that's what really I tried to do, all right? Try to graduate. That was my goal, and I did it, you know? But yeah, high school was fun as hell. I had more fun in the ages of high school than I did in high school. I never joined any teams. I never joined any clubs. I did some time in the Army, y'all, and I didn't even do ROTC, right? I didn't even think that would have been my future. But I try to push my son all the time. I try to get him to, you know, join the club, do something with your life, figure out who and what you like to do. Figure out who and what you like to do. That's what I tell my son, y'all. I'd be like, hey, man, figure out. Find yourself, loved one. Find yourself. That's the goal, all right? All of school, that's what the goal is, man. You don't follow the crowd. You know, you got to have one good homie and y'all do y'all thing. You make the crowd. Don't be the crowd. Make the crowd, bro. But yeah, man. Preferred, you joined in a little bit late, my brother. I'm already at that 44 mark. I was trying to go a whole hour with it, but damn, I really already didn't talk about everything I could, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. It's been hella lit. Clowning on everything today has been super funny. I'm glad I got this out. I've been holding on to all these subjects all damn day. Yeah, yesterday. And actually the day before, honestly. The curvy mermaid was I've been holding on to that shit all week. All right. And I didn't even have any jokes lined up. So when I read the shit and it said people are split or whatever, and I said the only thing split was her yeeks. Oh, dog, that shit had me fucking dying in my mind as I streamed. But y'all already know what it is. Thank you for tuning into the stream. It's been awesome. I'm going to be posting this on my regular video tab, so y'all can go ahead and watch this on your own time. Please do. Comment, like, subscribe. You got to hit the notification bell. Hate to be annoying, but I've already had 2 people tell me, hey, man, I don't know when you're going live. And I'm like, bruh, you got to put the notification bell. It's weird how people have been with phones all these years and people still don't know how to like and subscribe. They still don't know how to fucking go on YouTube. Oh, man, I don't have a YouTube account. I watch it for free. You broke bitch. Pay for that shit, all right? Nobody wants to see ads. You want to be able to close your phone and the YouTube keep playing, right? Come on, y'all. Get up on with it. But you already know what it is. It's